Yeah, I'm late, but we're good. 3 minutes late. I know somebody's going to call me out on it. Hey, happy Sunday, everybody. It's live stream number 92. Oh, hold on one second. Okay. My wife has the live stream on her iPad, and the volume is all the way up, so it's echoing in here where the volume is kind of up. All right, who we got with us? Hey, there's Lyle. How are you, buddy? Radios is here. Cecil is here. Hello. Mr. Angus McNaughton is present and accounted for. Greetings, humans. Bonnie. I got tongue-tied. It's our good dear friend Bonnie. On time. Hey, Jim Cahill's here. How are you, buddy? Flying O. Who's Flying O? Is he new? Because I'm not used to anybody actually being here at the scheduled. Mike is here. Hey, buddy. Hit the like button as you join up. Yes, if you're popping in, you should hit the like button. You know what it does? It saves a puppy. Who else we got? Eric's here. Hey, Eric. You didn't forget today. Good man. Limelight's here. What's good? Howdy doody all, says Super Cine 100. Jack is here. Hello, Jack. Almost finished the script for my 5-minute contribution to the showcase. Anybody else? We kind of strayed away from the little showcase. Has anybody else started or plan on doing a 5-minute horror, fantasy, sci-fi film? Does anybody plan on doing it? I'm just curious because we've kind of lost touch with it a little bit. I got 3. What? Radios. You go with your 3 cameras. You got to tell us what they were. Unfortunately, the luck with my H16 ran out today since it just keeps jamming the film. Oh, bummer. You might want to send that in for service. There's got to be somebody that can service there. Ooh, Cecil, you bought the pencils. That's about as far as I am right now. I have 2 pencils. Your pencils will be a surprise. Hola, buddies. Hey, Matthew. Good to see you, my friend. Yeah, what'd you get, Radios? Hello, fellow filmers from Mesa, Arizona. It's our good buddy, Mr. Jim Cahill. What did I do? I scrolled past. Whoa, there it is. Sadly, one of them, a Super 8 Argus, became typical of local Super 8 found cameras here, and it was a dud. I'm no slouch on 620 cameras, though. I need to get some. I need to get a good old-fashioned medium format. I have a couple, but they're lower end, and I want a good one. 92, I know, Cecil. 92, and if you add the 4 members-only live streams that we've done, speaking of which, if you missed it, you missed it. We had a 2.5-hour members-only live stream last Thursday, and it was fun. 2.5 hours. There was about a dozen of us in there, and we went through this in its entirety, that film freezer of mine, my deep freezer. And I'm going to show you one picture. I'm not getting into it again because we did it for 2.5 hours. But I'm mostly proud of, look at that. Those are currently still in the freezer. I have about 20 rolls, 400-foot rolls of film in that freezer out there right now. I have more, but the ones that I want to keep frozen. That is 8 rolls of 7222 double X. Now, if you saw my video where I did the FPP film, their 400 black and white film with my Aeroflex, there's some speculation that that might be 7222 film from 35 or 5222 cut down 35 millimeter. If that's the case, I'm very, very excited about the prospect of shooting those 8 rolls that have been in my freezer for years, by the way, because that film came out good, and I found out what was wrong. I found out what was wrong. It's not my Aeroflex that is not... If you saw my last video, the FPP film, and the frame kind of danced around a little bit. That's why I left the perforations in there. That 16 millimeter film that I shot and was developed and scanned by FPP, they did a fantastic job, by the way. It's nothing to do with them. It had all to do with me. So that camera is kind of loud, and I'm sure you heard that in the video itself. But I found out using my 10 millimeter lens, like a bozo, I had the matte box on because I had so much light blaring in here that I left the matte box on. And 10 millimeter is quite wide, even for 16 millimeter, and it was catching the edges of the matte box. So Christian, our buddy Christian, made a mention of it in the comments, and he just wondered if possibly the matte box got in the way because it didn't look like the picture filled the whole 16 millimeter frame. So I got to looking at it deeper, and then I pulled the old 16S down from the top up there, looked through it, 10 millimeter. I hadn't touched it since, and it was encroaching into the image area. I unscrewed the little screw there, pulled it back about 1 inch, screwed it in, and you could visibly see the frame just opened up. So I'm a little bummed out about that, and the frame moved simply because there was vibration with the camera, and it was moving that matte box a little bit. So that's all it was. So we got that resolved. We're going to do it again. We're going to try it again, and I might just order some FPP, another stock of theirs. I might just do it again. I might do the same thing, only do it right this time. Anyway, that's that. I don't know. I just kind of go off sometimes. I have some things I'm going to talk about. So if I miss a few chats, I do a preemptive apology. I'm sorry. There are a zillion of them. I have a ton also. Oh, you got a bunch of 620 cameras too, huh? I haven't used this mug in a while, but my wife and daughters got it for me. It's Pac-Man. But check this out. Check this out. I'm a fan of the 80s. Let's get this camera going. Now you see the ghosts? Look at them. Woo! All in vivid, bright colors. Well, when the liquid is hot, like it is right now, they are nice and colorful. But when it cools down, like when this is done, when the stream is done, we'll look and see. But this is on a warmer. They disappear. Got an Argus 75 and another Brownie Flashmite 20. But the whole outfit, yes, nice. Good old-fashioned Brownie. Hey, there's Entity. How are you, bud? Is there a shortage of Super 8 Ektachrome currently for new stocks? There could be. I don't know. Last I heard there was a shortage of 50D. I had not heard about 100D, though. But there could be. I haven't bought any in a while. And I need to shoot some soon. It's just so hot here right now and humid. But I have a brand new batch of E6 that I mixed just like last week, and I want to use it. Jim Cahill is present. Moving on from 620 cameras to my first 120 camera was amazing when I first got one. Yes, it is. Butch Magnum is here. You're tardy. Or am I the one that was tardy? Including unopened 620 film, that's probably toast. Yeah, that might be. It's hard. Sometimes the film sticks to the backing, and it's tough. Hey, Mark is here, lurking. Hey, buddy. And a $20 Argus paperweight. There's a few pretty decent 620 cameras out there, or should I say, in my condo. I want to get a one, with interchangeable backs. I loved the old one, the one that I had, but it just didn't work right. I had to send it back to the seller. I already forgot what it was, but I got it last year. It was $400 or $500, but interchangeable backs. I had the 120 back, but it just wouldn't fire consistently. There was an issue with it, so I had to return it. The re-rolling part was just a massive hassle. Re-rolling film is always a hassle. Not even white vinegar is saving that one. Me, I'm in. Have my props and costumes. Yes, I know I can count on you, Angus. I have started to film a few shots with my Pro 814E. Good. All right. Well, we got at least two people that are going to do it. Well, I think once we work out the kinks and everything with this fun little showcase festival, and if we get it out there, big enough, I think we'll get some people interested. This was very quick. I'm not kidding you guys. I mean, we put, I know we've been talking about it for years, but when when I finally initiated it, you had like 3 or 4 months to get everything together, and that is quick when you're talking about film. So we're gonna do it again. We're gonna do it again. I promise. I have started to film. Yes, you have. I'm lazy and order 620 from the FPP. That's not lazy. That's a good idea. I'm not going to be participating in the film fest this summer, unfortunately. That's all right, Mike. We're going to do more. We're going to do more. You, my friend, have always participated well in these community events. Get a Hasselblad. You know what, Bonnie? I will, if you send me the money for it. A Bronica SQA we could talk about. That's what it was. I had a Bronica. Um, wasn't an SQA, though. It's been a while, and I'm not overly well versed in medium format. So, Mark, I can't remember what model it was, but I loved it. It was a nice camera. It just had an issue. It with the shutter that I could not fix, and I didn't. The sellers gladly took it back. It was a store. Go to your local thrift store, and you'll find $5 Contax 645. You know, I've looked in some of the thrift stores, but my oldest daughter, even wants to go to some of them again because she likes looking through stuff. But we used to have this little route we'd go to from like our area in Port Orange, and we'd shoot through to New Smyrna, and there were some cool thrift stores that we need to do that again. We need to do it again. I'd love to find that 645. Trust me, I would. Wish there was cheaper 400-foot rolls of 16 available from someone. Yeah, I would love that. Like a $150 roll or $100 roll, 400 feet of FOMA. Expensive now. Kodak like 260, something like that, right? 240. It's a lot. Question to all: what's the best way to store my processed returned Super 8 regular 8 16mm from FPP? I would say either a hot attic or a very damp, humid basement. One or the other. I just store it in my house upright, and 16mm I store flat. My Super 8. Let me show you how I store my Super 8. My 50-foot reels. I have tons of these. They fit in here quite well. I bought this at our local Michael's. These are the ones that I've processed all, but either shot or found film. And I have lots of drawers of these, and I have them labeled. And then I have a Google Doc, almost 300-page Google Doc with all the info with the corresponding numbers. That's how I store my Super 8. Always with the clamshell cases. With 16, I just store it in something similar, but in the reels, and they just kind of sit flat. Flooded basement. I'm so far behind, guys. If I miss your message, then do it again. Then ask it again, because I'm going to go over some stuff, and we're just going to run out of time before I can. Okay. Flooded basement. Hello all, sorry I'm late. Jeffrey Feingold is here. Thank you, sir, for being here. Just come back from my amphibious car fest on the Royal River Thames. Wow, I bet that was fun. Man, I would love to see some pictures of that. That would be fun. I love cars that can go in the water. Honestly, never did this before, but I shot the whole short film on my cell phone and edited it to see what I'd have. Started with sound and realized that, in theory, I can just have a foundation for audio. That is a fantastic idea, by the way, Lyle. I even thought about piggybacking, just make a mount for my GoPro or something, just so I have that footage when I shoot a horror film. That's a great idea. Being submerged in water keeps it cool. See all these suggestions, Angus? I'd probably say in the top corner of a sauna. The bathroom's where I store mine, especially during a hot, steamy shower. You guys are crazy. My film's just sitting in the fridge. Ooh, that's a good spot for it, though. Quickly building my list of where not to store it. Waka waka, waka waka waka. Yeah, I keep unshot fresh film in the fridge, expired unshot film in the freezer, negative still strips on the bookshelf. I have some film up here. You guys don't understand. During the members only live stream, just we went through so much film that was in that freezer. I brought it all in, and Jeffrey, who I haven't seen yet, hopefully he's okay, made a suggestion. He goes, as you're putting it away, make sure you catalog it and barcode it and all this. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna. I didn't. So I put it, what needs to be in the freezer, went back in the freezer, and I ended up with a whole bunch of stuff that's not frozen in here, and it was everywhere. And I have, you can't see, but right above me, there's cans up there, right by the light. You know what? I'll show you. They're just sitting there because I don't have anywhere else to put them. Let me see if I can get this camera to look up. Look at that, right there. See them? They're just sitting on my shelf right next to my light. I don't know. I got nowhere to put them right now. I do have some, I did clear some space in my freezer. So I have like 40 or 50 100-foot rolls under here of Vision 2 50D 16 millimeter that I need to put in the freezer. Have you gotten to shoot the disc film or the APS roll? No, that's so funny you bring that up. So I loaded this and it worked. Remember, I took a picture here and I took one more picture and then set it down. And my wife and I and my daughter, Piper, we all went to the park, or it may have just been I don't remember. And I took this with me just to try to shoot this rest of this roll, and I couldn't get it to fire. Every time I push, it wouldn't fire. And then I realized, the on-off here, you need to keep it off because I think I killed the battery. Because I came home, put a fresh battery in it, and it fired. So I don't know. I'm on picture 9 of 15. So they're going to be just goofy pictures. I don't think they're going to come out, but we're going to see. Speaking of weird formats, our good buddy Angus. Other than the turnaround time, I am extremely happy with the quality of FPP processing and scans. Yes, man, I can't complain. I got mine pretty quick. It was only a couple weeks, but maybe, I don't know if, maybe because they knew I was going to do a video on it, but I mean, I don't know. I think anywhere you go, they're gonna the turnaround time is gonna be a while. This film thing is so popular now, and I think FPP sends their film out. I don't think they process in house. I wish they did 400-foot rolls, but I don't think they do. There's Piper. Hi, honey. I don't think they do 400-foot rolls, but I wish they would process them because I was so happy with how mine turned out. But anyway, there's Barry. You're walking your dog. That's all right. They need walking too. Angus, you should get them to scan a roll for you unsplit showing both frames. Yeah, that is a neat look. This film, you would definitely try a cross process where you make the disc film a positive using E6. Have you done that, Entity? I know you can, but I've never done that with C41. I'm curious how the FPP's color correction is. The negative space did really good work for me on the dock I'm working on. It helps since I'm partially colorblind. You're lucky by being partially colorblind. I'm partially blind anymore. I've heard very good things about the negative space. Never used them, but I've heard they're very indie friendly. FPP takes about a month for me. See, I think that's relatively reasonable. 6 weeks. I mean, maybe that's on the outside. She's so demanding. Woof. Sounds like mine. So our good buddy Angus, look what he sent me. Because, I was whining about not having a good APS camera. So I picked this up from my P.O. box yesterday. Look at this. Thank you, Angus. So he had a few extra APS cameras laying around. Look at that. 3 of them. And I have one, but it doesn't work. Now, I haven't put any batteries in these, so we don't really know if they work, but I'm just happy that he sent them. I'm not even really sure how to open them. Oh, that's where you put the film in that one. And this one's waterproof. I don't know if you can go underwater with this, but I looked. This whole thing is like, look at this. Look at the seals on this thing. So like you open the bottom, and look, it's like got that. It's got that rubber, like that gasket seal thing. Yeah, and then everything's sealed in there. It's got that sport look to it. It is the Elf Sport. Sporty. So, and then he gave me this one too, Minolta. Minolta makes great cameras. These, look at this. I don't have batteries in any of them. I could probably find some batteries and put them in here right now, but we'll do that in a few minutes because I got to figure out what they take. So thank you, Angus, very much. Oh, they did work with batteries, so that's a good thing. I've used a combo of HC110 and C41 to make a positive, but the orange base is very heavy on the film, so you'll need to shoot with a slightly blue filter to counter it. Yeah, I've done that before. I've done it with E6 film. I've done a combo of HC110 and ECN2, which is very similar to C41, and gotten a positive where you just re-expose to light. And I was very happy with it. I did it on 100D maybe, but I don't think I've ever done it with C41 stuff. But that would be interesting. The ISO. Oh yeah, I'll look at that because I only have these 2 rolls of film. I have this from 2008 APS. I don't know when this one. They're both ISO 200, but I would love to shoot them at about 100 ISO. So I'll have to see. I don't know. I don't know a lot about these APS. I never really used APS, but it's such a funky little neat format that I want to try my developers, like the little tank things, the holders, and my reels for my negative holders. Sent you an email. I got it, Mike. I got it. I got your email. I promise I'm going to get back to you. Um, I was trying to unpack it all. So, and I think you're right on with the 16ST based on the other 2 options. I want a BL really bad, but I already have an ST. Uh, the downside of the BL is about 3 times as heavy. It can only take 400-foot loads, and it's just not easy to walk around with. The 16S or ST, they're so portable. I mean, they're not super light, but they're easy enough if you don't have the magazine. Phew, yeah, they're awesome. And they're rock steady for the most part. I have not, I'm going to answer your question because I did read it. I have not sent mine out for service, Mike, so I don't know who to go to. I heard Dual is pretty good with those Aeroflex cameras. I think they're in, is it New Jersey? Dual camera, the brothers. None of those can change the ISO. I'd say pick up on the Canon EOS IX bodies. Those go for very cheap. All right. Well, I don't know. I would imagine that whoa, probably you could change the ISO on one of them. I don't know. I mean, they're decent little cameras, but we'll give them a shot. I'll shoot a roll. I mean, I have a couple rolls. I'll shoot one at box speed, see what happens. 2008. It's been in my freezer for a while, so maybe we'll be okay. I'll shoot it outdoors, in the sunlight. Might be okay. They work, they are fun, but it's worth cleaning, oil and seals, and test for waterproofness. Hey, Katie, you're here. Yes, Katie is here. And Mike, by the way, we won't get into details here. I'm going to email you back, but I am very interested in what you were asking about. And thank you. Bonnie said, also, I was at something yesterday and saw the window from where he took view from the window at Le Gras. I don't know what that is. I'm terrible at that stuff. Um, Nicephore Niepce Legras. Too much mental gymnastics for my own brain. Shoot the B run with the camera upside down. Everything will be upright, but the B run will be backwards. If that does, I'm all messed up. Ooh. Hey, Sprocket is here. How are you, my friend? Always a treat when Sprocket pops in. Hi, folks. Good to see everyone. Did I miss the part about the Leicas? Yes, here they are. Here's all my Leicas. Actually, they're really cool. Angus sent me these. There's a Canon Elf Sport APS camera. Check this out. Kodak Advantix 2000 Auto, followed up closely by the Minolta VETIS or Vectis 25. All APS cameras, the Advantix system. So we're going to give all those a fair and equal opportunity to shoot some APS film. View from the window at Le Gras is the oldest surviving photograph. Oh, no, no, no. Okay, I know what you're talking about, Bonnie. The guy that's kind of standing, getting the shoe shined or something. Is that the one? Texas. I have a new idea about an insane film scanning method. Oh boy, here we go. A new Franken method. Pretty sure the IX Lite can change ISO. It has an ISO section on the back dial. Ooh, IX Lite. All right, we're going to look at that. IX, or it's probably Roman numerals. All right, we'll look at that. APS cam. Switcheroo is here. Aloha, film folks. Congratulations to me on my first roll developed in HC110 plus ECN2, aka Filmboy24 Special. Fujichrome RT200 single 8 expired in 1979 actually worked apart from the nasty, sticky Renjet. That stuff is gross. But congratulations. Congratulations. We were just talking about that. That's awesome. Shuttle roll and Lomo Tiger 200 in one of them at Kenedigianua Lake last August on vacation with the grandkids. That Angus, by the way, that film you shot that was really well done. Angus sent me a film, and I of course never would show it. It's his family and whatnot, but he visited his grandkids and stuff. It's just I get all like verklempt when people film their families and kids and whatnot and grandkids. It's just that's the way to preserve. Film's going to last longer than that digital format that you're putting it on. To get the normal EOS, that one is higher end model. It's the EOS, that's right. So it's Canon. Imagine a sensor you can put a frame of film directly onto, and then you just expose. Whoa, I missed it. And then you just expose the right time, save as raw. I want to see you do that, but I have a better way. I want to show you guys. Check this out. You guys ready for a better way? Brand new. It's groundbreaking. Ground freaking breaking way to scan any film format as long as it's Super 8. Are you guys ready for this? I don't think you are. Check this out. A brand new transfer method. Boom! How about that? Just released this. All right, so in the 70s, probably. So we were talking about this on the Filmboy24 community on Facebook, and so I just thought I'd dig it out. These things, I've had a lot of these over the years, different ones, different brands, different styles, but they all do exactly the same thing. It's very tricky to use. Yes. Yes, the Ambico, however you want to pronounce it. You guys ready for this? Aha, 16 millimeter Super 8.8, even slides. I know, you have the switch. Check this out. still in. The only thing, the funny thing is that it takes a 12 volt or not battery, but the 12 volt AC adapter. But there's not even a spot for it in the box that I can find. But this is really cool. Oh, it says optional power source. Come on now. Ooh, don't drop, don't drop. Look at the back of the box. Can you guys see the back? Look at all the fun things you can do with it. Yeah. So let's examine this for just a minute. Yeah, you have one too. View from the window is literally just two rooftops. Guy who took the photo. Oh, what am I thinking of? The guy that's leaning over, and it's like he's standing from a distance, Bonnie, and he's leaning over, black and white picture. It's supposed to have been the earliest photograph ever known to man. Looks like he's getting his shoe shined or something. I thought that's what you were talking about, but maybe that's different. Look at this. Oh, imagine, just imagine walking into your local camera store or Kmart or Sears or Woolco. Who remembers Woolco, right? And seeing this on the shelf. I mean, you'd be like, ooh, yeah, all those memories. Those are going on VHS tomorrow. VHS, baby. They'll be preserved forever on VHS. Whoop, there goes the frame. Yeah, they're not. Here it is. Let's put the feet on. Here's the Ambigo. Get the styrofoam off of there. Wait, how does that go? We're going to put it together. Oh, so this goes in the bottom. You don't need one. Magazines comes with adapters for 400. Kmart all the way. I know, Katie. I love Kmart. Attention, Kmart shoppers. We are having a blue light special. Mine is not that. Well, some of them even had. I had one before that had like it had audio inputs and a little equalizer. Up and downs. It was really cool. Look at this, and then you put it in there, tighten it down. Wait, you can adjust the height of it. Look at this. Now, I don't have the adapter right here, but I did put batteries in it. So right now, it's going to be in what mode? It's in film transfer mode. So look at this. So let's turn it on. Here's the little window. This is where you would put your projector right there. And then you would put a video camera over there. So let's turn the switch on and see if it lights up. Yep. Do you see the light in there? Probably hard to see. Where's the switch? You guys see it go on? You see it lighting under my chin? Boop, boop. You can see it from the back. Where you put the slide in there. So the little light goes on. That's the only thing that illuminates your film. This is just crazy. Actually, I think the light is only for lighting the photos, the still photos. So you would drop your little 5x7s or 4x6s right in the back. See, you would drop your photo right in here. It goes in between, and then you would just put your camera in front. You would take a couple seconds of video, and then you would switch it out. A couple seconds of video, switch it out, or a photo, I guess, a digital photo. But you really had to mess with. I remember you really had to mess with the shutter speeds because they were always. It was there was always so much flicker with these things. It was crazy. Ambigo. I just want to show you. And if you're going to do photos, you would switch this, and it just moves the mirror out of the way. So now you probably can. Yeah, now you can see the light in there. See the light in there now. But if I move it, you don't see the light. Because you don't use the light if you're doing film, if you're doing a movie. You need a light when doing movies, right? The projector is the light. It is crazy. I want to mess with it. I'm going to leave it out. I have my projector set up in another room for when I do sound Super 8 film. So I'm going to mess with this with my Canon M50. That does? Yeah, I know. A 5 blade shutter made all the difference in the world. I actually have an old Shinon, I think it's a 2500 projector over there that you can adjust the speed of it, the frame rate. I mean, actually adjust, not just 18 and 24. So this one you can slow down and speed up a little bit, and it actually helps quite a bit with the flicker. Beautiful. In your living room. Oddity Archive made a video about one of those. Yeah, there's a lot of videos on these. And this came out too, this little thing. So you could, your lens of your video camera went here and you could pull this, like this became like a lens shade. See it pop out like that? See how it, light, here, let's see the light go on. We'll take this out. This is where you put, you see my computer there. That's just got, it takes 4D batteries, or you can use the adapter. No, it goes this way. No, it goes this way. So that's the Ambigo. I just thought it'd be fun to take one of these out and show you guys. Oh, this one also came with a little pack of stuff. Check this out. This is crazy. It's got 3 markers. I know those aren't going to work, right? 3 markers. Then it's like, I think for like titling. So you could title everything. It was so old school. It came with this out one back. I should use it. It's got clear. So you can write on it with those markers. These are probably dry erase. So it's got clear and then dark and then look at this. You see that? All of these are black letters. See all their little sticker letters. And this, there's a grid. I don't know what the grid is for. I guess to put behind the clear, right? So you know you're when you're writing or you're putting your stickers on, you know that they're straight. But there's a bunch of clear ones here, and then a black one. I don't know. I'd need directions for that. Trying to figure all this stuff out. But the stickers. Oh, for making titles. How fun is that, though? I want to get one of the titlers for my little Cine Kodak 16 millimeter magazine camera. I want to get a titler for it and make some titles on 16 millimeter, the way they used to do them. But putting this away first and foremost is going to be my #1 goal. So I want to get a titler. I got one kind of looking at on eBay. Should we see if these markers even work? Let's see if these markers work. So here's black, and I have my fantastic. The funny thing is, they're actually leaving a mark. You know, they've got to be at least 40 years old, right? I mean, yeah, we knew they weren't going to work. Mike, are you missing? Are you using a voice activated microphone? Goes quiet between phrases, no ambient sound. Well, I thought I had it turned off. Um, there was ambient noise. Are both lights on? No, it's not. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. Um, see, the one light is on. There's a light below it too. If both lights are on, that means ambient noise off or whatever is actually on, and I don't like that. It didn't work as well. Is it dropping out a bit? Um, Oh. I may go back to maybe just using my good old fashioned wired microphone again. I hate to just use the over the air mic, but we may have to do something like that. Try out. Yeah, I'll do that. Wire issue kind of cutting out more than usual. Well, that stinks. I don't know. I'm gonna move the Ambigo and we'll figure it out real quick. Hopefully. Um, I'm not sure. Does it actually? It actually sounds like it's coming from here, right? Boom mic for the mic. I have a boom over there, a Rode boom mic. Hey, Jeffrey's here. Hey, buddy. I was wondering what happened. Unless I missed one of your. Oh, there you are. Did I miss anything? You really didn't miss anything, except for my mic is cutting in and out, and I don't know why. It was on the wrong setting for some reason when I first brought this up, but I changed it, and now I don't understand why. Let me change the setting. Hold on. That's probably not going to work at all, is it? Is that working any at all? Moving around, picking up things. So something is making it cut out. Yeah. So this is probably too much. Hmm. Is it louder now? I was late. Had a new TV arrive. Surprise delivery. Oh, you have to set that up. It's much worse. Hold on. I'm going to switch it back. I've never used that setting. All right. Is that any better? Now, I mean, that should be back down to normal again. It was fine before. All right. Well, I switched it back. I'm not positive what is happening, but I still have a sneaky suspicion. Much better. I have a sneaky suspicion that it does have to do with this new computer that I'm using. It's different from the one that I used for the first 89 live streams. So I'll put this away later. So I have a feeling it's not keeping up somehow. Sound better now? Maybe I just had to fudge it a little bit, switch it back and forth a little bit. So it may be, where do you get your new 50-foot Super 8 reels from? I've ordered hundreds of them from Larry Urbanski. Urbanski Film. Sounds great. Thank you, Jeffrey. Go to, just Google him, Urbanski, Urbanski, Urbanski Film. Still gets lower when you face away from it. Clip it in the middle of your collar. It's got a magnet under it, so let me just scoot it. Hopefully it doesn't. Let's just put it right in the middle and see what it does. All right, so now I'm turning away and turning away and turning away and turning away. Turn it away now. Turn away now. So we'll see what happens. You'll probably hear everything like drinking. I got a new camera I want to show you guys. Got it. I got this all good now audio wise, but the content was. Oh, I love you guys. Those clip magnets are so tasty. The content. They say the Sankyo Dualux 2000 projector works well with this type of unit regarding flickering. I'm going to try the it's the Shinon 2500. Sprocket. I oughta. And it's adjustable speed. I mean, up, down, not and incrementally. It's not just 18 or 24. So that might help a little bit, and then we can adjust the speed even better once the film is scanned. It would be kind of neat to see what kind of results I can get. I also wonder if I just transfer 24 frames per second, the projector, and I know that the refresh rate has something to do with it too, and we can work with that later. But my Canon M50 4K 24 frames per second. I don't know. Let's see what happens. You know, maybe by next Sunday I'll have that sorted. I don't know. I'll try my best this week. But I do have something. I got this in the mail. Check this. It needs an overhaul. So I'm going to overhaul it myself. Because I know how to do these ones, kind of. Where's Cecil? Where's my buddy Cecil? Check this out. I can't remember how much I paid for it, but it wasn't that much. Oh, there you guys are. Yep, I see you. Oh, no, I see me. It's a good little lens. It doesn't appear to have any issues, really. It's nice and smooth. The zoom, 10 to 30. Just a little 10 to 30 zoom. It's a B8, B8L. A Bolex B8L. Look at that. With a Pansinor that's Sam Berthia. Berthio. I don't know how to pronounce it. F2.8. 10 to 30 lens. But I like that it has the dogleg finder. So it's kind of a reflex deal. So, but it's very sluggish. Kind of runs for a second and then I know it just needs oiled. Need the old grease cleaned out of it and it needs oiled. So we're going to get that resolved. I see Tommy and Billy. Is that you, Joseph? I'm hoping to get my Lomo tank in soon, and then it's ordering almost $400 of film and another $130 for the developer. Life is pain. It is absolutely pain. Bonnie, you want to look up the number? Tell me how old it is. You ready, Bonnie? This is for you. 726349. 726349. I actually have the plate. It's missing the little plate under here. That's just it kind of shows the exposure settings. I do have the plate. It's in the box. And it also came with a handle. These are the handles I don't really like. The B8Ls had these funky handles because the shutter release is down as opposed to in. So it had these handles that were, you had to pull down instead of pulling in. It's not, it's not overly ergonomic. So you had to pull down because the handle, when it's on there, you flip this up. You want it to pull the shutter release down. You see how it pulls it down? So it is what it is. It's still a good solid handle. But, and it has a little plate with it. I'm going to glue that back on. The little plate is missing. Probably glue some of the leatherette down, the old school leatherette. But other than that, it's in really, really good condition. I'll be taking it apart and, lubricating it. I want to show you guys a couple of photographs. It is a regular 8 camera jack. It's a Bolex B8L with a Sam Berthia 10 to 30 f2.8 dogleg lens. So it's a reflex lens. So what you see through the viewfinder is what the lens sees. That's what this dogleg is. But it's regular 8. Just a regular old 8mm, not Super 8. And it's a crank wind-up camera. 1 year after one of my favorite movies of all time was released. Oh, it's from 1959. Is the audio still cutting in and out, you guys? Members live stream opening the camera. Maybe. That's not a bad idea. It might get really boring, though, because it just takes a while. What was that movie? The B8L takes D-mount. Yes, it does, Angus. Split screen focus. Ooh, that's a good question. I do not think that it is. No, unfortunately, it's just a, when the picture's clear, it's focused. And my least favorite, yeah. Actually, it's more just hope that it's focused based on the marks, because it doesn't seem to be changing anything in the viewfinder. Looking at the light in front of me, it's not really changing the focus look at all. So I think we're just basing it on, oh, it's good. More consistent. Well, in the middle, then it shall always stay. No, Cecil, I wish it was, but I got to do some tests with that lens now. I'll clean it up. Yes, you can, Jim. You can. I may have one. I want to show you guys some pictures. So, like I mentioned earlier, it always tickles me when people use film cameras for what they were originally intended for, documenting things that are important to them. You guys know I've always talked about that. A Night to Remember. Oh yeah. Great movie, Bonnie. Focus through those is very iffy. Yeah, I'm probably going to have to just use the markings. Yeah, very good film. So I was digging through some old 35 millimeter film that I had shot. I was doing it earlier, and I decided I want to show you guys just 4 photographs. I wish Travis was here because I have one photo I wanted to show him. Um, he always talks about this, and if you're not familiar with I-4 in Florida, Interstate 4, you won't understand this, but Travis talks about it a lot. And it is quite an eyesore. But I took this picture in 2018 with my Nikon my Nikon F3 and Kodak Ultramax 400 from the road, as you can see. That's what we call the I-4 eyesore. It's a building that was erected years ago and never used for anything. One of these days I'm going to shoot a whole roll of one frame shots in my Bolex Payard using a still frame camera just as portraits. I always wanted to do that. I wanted to get a nice roll of like 50D and just put it in a camera that I never use and just do single frame. I did a roll of film for a guy. I processed and scanned a roll of film for a guy who did that, but it looks like he did more bursts, but he had a ton of single shots in it, and it came out pretty good actually. But that's a good idea. It is a terribly ugly building that still sits ugly to this day with no use whatsoever. I guess it houses birds and derelicts and, you know, whatever. Look at it. But I shot that on Ultramax 400. But anyway, we all know Piper. You guys know the love of my life is Piper, right? I love my daughters equally, but Piper is something special, let me tell you. But you guys know Piper. She's been in 100 videos of mine. It is vacant, Jim. Show up on time. So I found 4 photographs that I was especially, yeah, right, entity. So I was especially taken aback when I revisited these pictures, but I want to show you guys 4 pictures. Let me see if I can remember. This was on my Nikon F3, and I shot it with Kodacolor 400 in 2018 of Piper. One of my favorites, and that is a Nikon FE2 that I still own to this day that she decided she wanted to try and use. These are kind of in order of how I like them. This was shot with my Nikon F3, my current favorite camera, Portra 160 in 2021. It's the only time since she was born that Piper had short hair. Love this picture. Shot just right outside in my front yard. One of my favorites. Again, my Nikon F3. Picture number 3 I want to show you is Piper. These are all Piper. I don't know what camera I used to shoot this. All I know is it's Fuji 200. And thank you, Matthew. And I shot it in 2021, and I found this picture to be, one of the things I like about it, it's not just because it has Piper in it, but it's very dreamy. It has that feel, that very dream-like feel to it. So that is Fuji 200. I wish I knew what camera I shot that in, but something about that picture that does it for me. And thank you, Mike. And the last one I want to show you of Piper is my all-time favorite that I've ever shot, and it was kind of an accident. Although I like that last one quite a bit. Nikon F3, very expired Kodak 400. I don't remember how long, how old it was. Probably, 5 to 10 years expired. And I got this shot out of it. This was in 2018, and Piper was born in 2015. So that's probably the best picture, my personal favorite that I've ever taken of Piper to this day. My oldest daughter, she's a little trickier. She does not let me take pictures of her very often. Thank you, Matthew. Thank you, guys. That's why I think it's so important to use your film and your film cameras for things that you love, things that make you happy. The old saying, you can always tell what a photographer's into and what they love by looking at their photographs. She's at that age, I know. Time to start labeling your photos as art. I know. I need to get back out. I used to shoot so much 35 millimeter, and then I sort of transitioned back to Super 8 and 16 and kind of lost the feel for 35 millimeter, and I want to get back into it. So I want to start, working those cameras again and that film again, and I find so much joy in not just taking the pictures, but seeing how they come out. But I love to develop. So all of these I processed and scanned myself. So to me, that's part of the joy, I have a film I want to show you guys too. Not related, totally unrelated to Piper. But it's a neat film. It's a found, I did not process it, but it was just a found film. I think it's from the same people that we saw the parade footage with the Loud Ford. I don't know, I can't remember his name, Jim Loud or something like that. Ford dealer. And thank you, Jim. Shooting sub-miniature photos made me more appreciative of 35 millimeters resolution. There's a lot of people that knock 35 millimeter because it isn't the highest resolution. And then you're scanning them with flatbed scanners, which isn't the greatest way to scan. I know a lot of people use DSLRs, and you get, oftentimes a better scan. I've always been super satisfied with 35 millimeter. I think you can get a lot of range out of 35 millimeter. Ready to go. Fino, likely. Yeah. Well, thank you, Fritz, and good to see you, buddy. You're early for next week. Dave Knopp is here. Hey, buddy. Yes, Mike and I are talking about that. I want to get with Mike. Hey, Jim from Greece is here. Must have been f2.8. Katie, that last one was, I believe, we were indoors. So it probably was because of that bokeh and in the depth of field. So I'm thinking it was probably, may have even been my 50 millimeter on 1.4 or something like that. I got lucky on the focus. When you shoot like that, you got to get lucky. Dave Knopp is here. If you want to get into 35 millimeter again, I would personally recommend the Bell & Howell IMO. Yeah, I know, or Ica Kanamo. I wish that I had. I sold my IMO, and I wish I didn't. I bought it for $100. It included 3 lenses and a 100-foot roll of 35 millimeter black and white film. I wish I wouldn't have sold it. Sold it for $600 several years ago. Jim from Greece says, hi again, Mike. Mike, you didn't see my first message. The difference between digital and film is one, and this is a film photo. Yes, it has so much more depth and so much more soul. And I apologize for missing your message. I've been kind of skimming a little bit, trying to get through some things. So always repost your message, guys, if I miss it, because I try not to, but I know I did. But you're absolutely right. I think film just, you can't knock digital because it's here to stay and it's beautiful. But I think there is a difference in that film just emotes a feeling, right? It gives us that organic feel that we're there, that it's actually happening in real life. And I still don't think that's something digital has gotten to yet. I always felt it was so much more organic and you could almost reach out and touch whatever is there. Yes, Mike, I got to email you. I've been given the green light by Nicole. 45. Yeah, good luck with that. We're not trying to steal from him. 250. Mine was 250 with 7 rolls of film and a 70. You got lucky, Bonnie. The thing is, you always regret selling a camera. You do, always. And it's so funny you mention that because I have a whole bunch that I want to start liquidating. I have too much. I have too much stuff, and I need to start liquidating. I think digital is good with other things. That's true. Radios, that's absolutely right. Quick snapshots. Who can deny the fact that we all take our phones and take pictures and videos all the time? And nobody can deny that. I do, and I'm sure everyone does. Nothing wrong with that. You know, we don't always have time, or we don't always have our, 514 XL with us. You know, our 16 millimeter cameras at the ready, ready to go, and your kid's doing something crazy. You got to use your phone, and we do. I do it every day. There's no shame. No shame. I have a film I want to show you guys. This is from, the film itself was manufactured in 1971. It's Kodachrome KA2, or just Kodachrome 2. And it's from the same family, I believe, that gave us the Tournament of Roses Parade from 1971. Remember those? We saw 2 films. I just thought it was kind of neat. This one is a weird mix-up of different things. It's not great. The film has suffered. I did the best I could with the scan. And I want to show it to you in 1 second. I find digital good for documenting important stuff that I don't want to risk messing up. That's true. I remember my first camera I shot with, and it was an old Polaroid roll film camera right around 2012. Photos came out terrible, but it was sure fun to shoot with. Yes, you're right about that. They are fun. Big money in film look emulations for digital. It's amazing to me how everyone wants the film look. And you know, I have the Super 8 film. I had it. I don't know if I still do, but the was it Super 8? Can't remember. It was the camera. Maybe it was 8 millimeter. Let me see if I still have it. Is that it? No, I must have deleted it. But I had this vintage camera, where it was silly. It did the flicker and everything, and it made your videos look like they were shot on film. There's a lot of them. But I had it, and I used it a couple times, and I was like, yeah, it was cute, but I make my own film. Mike, just see the difference between cinema analog film today with digital projectors, 35, 70, and IMAX. Big difference, Jim, big difference. Definitely enjoyed shooting the grandkids on 16 millimeter magazine, double 8 mil and Super 8, then digital only on my mirrorless. It's so great. It's just great. What's kind of sad is that one of my favorite films was shot on 16 but scanned on Betamax and edited in Avid, and now the original negatives are lost, so we're stuck with 1080. Never get rid of the original negatives. I try to tell people that too when they get their films transferred. Hang on to the film as long as you can. Technology is going to change. Things are going to change. You may lose your digital copies. Always hang on to them. It's sad to see just how many of these are available on eBay. Yeah, the 80s. I'm with you, radios. Those old 80s camcorder apps. So here's this film. Check this out. This is color. Old Kodachrome 2. Try to get it queued up here. It's only like 3 minutes, a little over 3 minutes. I just thought it was different. There's a little bit of something different throughout the whole film. You guys make sense of it, but it's fun. Here it is. And it's labeled, handwritten, Deer Park, Florida, plus flood. So you'll understand in a second. That's obviously Deer Park. This might be in Pennsylvania. Where's Matthew? Matthew, look at this building. I know Matthew, I think, is in Pennsylvania. Building says, can't remember, something Lodge. Yeah, maybe you're not going to be able to see what it says. Deer Park is 5 minutes from where I work. Oh, so you know it. I thought about you when I was scanning this. What does that say? That's something Lodge. Folded Mills Lodge. That's right. Is it still there, Matthew? Deer Park? You still shoot VHS, Cecil. That's awesome. The movie is Cannibal, the musical, by the way, Trey Parker's first feature film. That's pretty awesome. There's the flood. Everything's a bit dark. Guess I could have lightened it a little bit. You are number one, Bonnie. Mind blown. Do you recognize, I don't know where the flood was. This was in 1971, Matthew. There's houses, I guess it wasn't that light or that dark on my computer, but Deer Park is still there. Looks very different from this now, assuming it's the same Deer Park. Well, the one I looked up, and I looked at that Folded Hill Lodge, it was in Pennsylvania. Cross Fork, Pennsylvania. That's right. Thank you, Angus. That bridge looks familiar. It's raining there for sure. If you pick up Agfa Family Super 8 kit, the camera has single frame button, which stops the Agfa projector at the relevant frame. In theory, you could fill a whole 50-foot roll with hundreds of shots. That's pretty cool. I didn't know that. This is crazy to me. I grew up going to Deer Park. Wow. That is pretty awesome. I'll have to look and see if there's any more of that, Matthew. There's a ton of films in this little lot that I had gotten some time ago. I don't have any idea what any of this is. Obviously, this is either from a small plane or a helicopter. Those Texas floods, I know. We're flying, aerial footage, and then we're surfing. This part was in the film itself is very blue. It blued up really bad. I mean, the film is old, so 55 years or so. Cessna 182. Could you tell by the legs of it or something? Got me. Surfing. Look at the helicopter. Maybe that was the helicopter shots. And then that's Florida. That sign, by the way, says leaving Florida or something, drive safely. So I just thought that would be kind of neat to, obviously we're in Pennsylvania, and it's pretty amazing that Matthew used to visit that place, and then they were in Florida. There's not a whole lot of surfing in Pennsylvania that I know of, but there is in Florida, and the sign said Florida. Maybe it was from the copter. Yeah, I'm wondering. I'm thinking that was probably from that helicopter. Could have had an 80, right? It could have, entity. It'd be cool if you found any footage from the inside. Cannonball Loop from Action Park in New Jersey. As far as I know, there is no known footage of it, just the outside. What is the Cannonball Loop? Mike, what are you thinking about the reframe to 24 frames per second of old films era 1900, 1930, which were in 12 frames per second to 16? I don't think that's a good idea, Jim. If you mean showing them at 24 as opposed to 12, I think they should always be shown in their native frame rate. I'm not sure if that's what you mean, but I think that's a disservice. I think you should always show the films in their native frame rate. Believe it or not, some people surf on... Oh, do they on Lake Erie? I guess that makes sense. My oldest video camera is from 1965 or 66. I don't know if it works. Action Park is nuts. The doc and book about it are worth seeking out. Where I got to go look that. I want to look that up. I got to find some footage about it then. I'm glad you mentioned that, Bonnie. Cannonball Loop from Action Park. Let's write that down because I'll forget. Cannonball Loop from Action Park? And it's in New Jersey, you said? Right? In New Jersey. All right. We're you know what? Challenge accepted. We're going to find some footage. Probably not, but Action Park is nuts. Heard about it on the History Channel. The scan is very close to how projected Super 8 footage looked. It's gained those tiny scratches. And I'm guessing, by the way, thank you for being here, Christian. I'm guessing that the projectors over the years did that, right? Bonnie just sent me a picture. Is that Cannonball Loop? Is that a slide? Check this out, guys. Bonnie just sent this picture. It's like a slide, right? From up there, and you go, wee! That's pretty cool. Christian, you're here. I talked about it earlier. I just want to mention, I'm glad that you brought it up. When you made the comment on my FPP 16mm film, it was the matte box. You were absolutely right. The frame was not filled. I pulled the Airy down. I hadn't touched it since I made that film. And I looked through it and I unscrewed the front element of the matte box and pulled it back and the frame opened up. So yes, and that was the reason of the moving too, because that camera is loud and it moves. So it was moving the matte box a little bit because I don't think it was tightened all the way down. So that's everything that happened was because of that matte box. My oldest camera is currently from early 1945 and is currently the heaviest. I have the pleasure / pain of moving Fairchild F56 baby backbreaker. My oldest camera is from 1924, I believe, or 25. It is the Cinemachinery, the Bell & Howell Filmo. Some people call it the A series, but it's not labeled as the A series. It's either 24, 25, or 1926, so it's roughly 100 years old. And I've used it, and it did well. Matthew, yep, that whole park was nuts. You only ride that slide once. It goes right into the ravine. No water, no nothing, just alligators. Closed about a month after it opened. And is that why there's no video of it, right? Or film? When did it open and when did it close? That's what we need to know. Yeah, radio, same with mine. We have the same camera, don't we? Shot live footage of my band in college on Super Beta. I have a video that I shot. It was in 1991 on Super VHS. I was a project when I was in film school that me and another girl, another student, did a commercial for a local nightclub. So we rented a high-end, top of the line, look at this, by the way, ooh, 800 feet of Vision 250D. We rented a top of the line Super VHS camcorder. This is not the one, but this is a Super VHS camcorder by GE. But we rented something very similar to this and shot the whole commercial, edited it all on tapes, right? Tape to tape at school, and then gave it to the nightclub. My brother was working at the nightclub at the time, so we were able to get in there no problem. Everybody had signed waivers at the doors. It was crazy, crazy that night. I'll have to show that commercial sometime. I got to remix. It has copyright music in it right now, but 1991, how many years ago was that? Come on, somebody do the quick math. 21, 34? I think mine's a Kodak. I have a VHS tape laying around of one of my family members playing with his high school band at one of the... You know what else I videoed? If you get offended easily, then leave the room or put your earmuffs on. I was doing a job for my dad, me and another guy, in Merritt Island, Florida. And I was down there about 4 months. He used to renovate hotels, right? And we were helping. We were basically doing all the job. This was in 92, 91, somewhere in that range, somewhere around the same time. But they had a bar in the hotel we were renovating and a stage. And they, every Wednesday, I'll never forget, they brought in and did a lingerie show. So they bring in like 5 or 6 models. And the owner of the hotel said, can you make videos? And can you, because I always had my big old camcorder wherever I went. And we hooked it up to the large TV that was in his bar, and the TV's also around the bar. And I have 3 or 4, and there was also one. It was a male review that he wanted me to film or video. So I have 4 tapes, 3 Wednesdays of the girls in lingerie, and then one of the Chippendales. And it's so funny because he says the girls at my bank really want to see the Chippendales, right? This true story, and I think we're past the statute of limitations. So he said, can you hook your camera up? You're not really supposed to video them because they're the Chippendales, but can you hook your camera up to our TV and just record them? So I did, and I was in there with my partner, and we were filming them, and one of them came up to me, one of the guys, and he goes, hey, you can't film in here. And I said, oh, no, we're not filming. We're hooked to the TV so all the girls can see everything, even if they're in the back of the room. Well, I had put black tape over the flashing red light. Statute of limitations, long gone. Merritt Island, where gators and dolphins swim together and watch rocket launches. But I still have those tapes, and I have transferred them myself. I would like to get them transferred well. Busted. Statute of limitations. Those 22-year-old fellas are now, in their late 50s or 60s. Yeah, I know. You scoundrel. I was such a rebel. I have a VHS camera, but the battery cells are dead. I don't know, can you even get them replaced nowadays? They take those humongous batteries. They look like a small brick, but I don't know if you can do that. That's some student filmmaker ingenuity. Always claim ignorance. It was so guerrilla. It was so goofy too. And I cut it just perfect to cover the little black screen. Remember the little black, you guys know what I'm talking about. It just flashed. And if the red light was on or flashing, you're being recorded. I had to cover it. Is this a bust? Yes, and very impressive. Call them up and do a video of them. It'd be like, you remember Saturday Night Live when Chris Farley did the Chippendales with Patrick Swayze? Rest in peace, both of those guys. Woo! I've seen someone refill those batteries with water to revitalize them. Not even being ironic. With 12-volt vids. I like his vids. You naughty devil. I know. I still have the tapes over there somewhere. There's nothing, but to be honest, there's nothing I honestly, nothing I could not show. There's nothing, it didn't get. Yes, I do. If you're talking to me, Cecil, yes, I still have the original VHS tape of the 3 Wednesdays of the girls in lingerie. They would come up, they would change, they would come up on stage, dance around. I would stay focused on them, and they would walk off. They would go change real quick, and another one would walk up, and she would dance around. It was just a cycle. It was like 2 hours of it. And same with the Chippendale show. Is anyone going to bid on the Euler 16mm printer on eBay today? I didn't know it was on there, but I don't know what I would do with it. Don't know what I would do with it. Channel Filmboy24 after hours. Flying O says, Bonnie, I'm one of the bidders on that. Oh, don't outbid Mike, you guys. He's good people. Let Mike have that one. I can take 620 shoots indoors. Yay. No, those battery packs are big lead acid batteries. I wonder if you could make, like, 3D print a case and put nickel, like, NiCad, not NiCad, or well, NiCad probably be best because that's old school, or info lithium batteries, the newer style batteries in there, and run them. I don't know. There's a little issue with refilling with water, and it's because of a wet cell battery that's not sealed properly. Carries a bunch of issues. It's over $300 already. You don't need one. You're hoping to be outbid. I was thinking on bidding, but it would probably be cheaper to buy and convert a normal projector, even if the process would be longer. It would be nice to have one, but goodness, I would use it once and not use it again. I found this wall phone that was converted into a radio. That's right up your alley too, radios. It's 370 right now. Eesh. So look, remember earlier in the stream we talked about it. Look at my ghosts whoa, splash. My ghosts are starting to fade away a little bit. See on top? See the tops of them? They're fading away because the cup is cooling. I used to have a little napkin under here because I just spilled coffee, but that's all right. That's what shirts are for. So, yeah, it gets hot and they turn to color. And when it cools down, they disappear. You don't see them. Waka, 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 waka. So I have them off the heat now. I would love to get the film printer, but it's over my budget. I'm just going to film analyst projector and go from there. Yeah, that's a little out of my budget right now too. Michael Carter has done great prints with his. He does a lot of cool stuff, Michael Carter. He doesn't get enough play, you know? I mean, he seems like a decent guy, and he does a lot of interesting stuff. And I don't know, I wish he was more active on here. He does have some good pointers and tips, and he's got his 100-foot tanks. He develops film. He does a lot of cool stuff. His printers, optical printers, film printers. And you could get projectors for like $10 if you're lucky here. Putting my money towards the Aeroflex. Aeroflex. Well, I'm going to help you get there, Mike. I'll be emailing you today or tomorrow. Need Filmboy24 thermal ink activated coffee mugs. Where is the merch shop? You know, it's so funny. I was just revisiting my website. My little SSL expires in 5 days, where it's like all encrypted right now, and I've changed servers. So my website was never really done properly because I did it, and I don't know how to do websites. I'm terrible at it. So I changed servers. My buddy, a good friend of mine, he's done a lot of audio work in our movies and stuff. We've been friends for 30 years. But he and his brother own a networking company in Daytona Beach. And I don't know why I didn't do it to begin with, but I switch, and he hosts everything for me for nothing. He always has. But he put a fresh copy of, what's the software you start with? You know, the one, and then you can add the templates. You guys know what I'm talking about. But he put a fresh copy on there. Somebody's going to say it and they'll be right. I just need to develop it. And it's going to be on a new server, but I got to change some things. It's like so much that I'm not good at. Yeah, I wish, you know, probably if I had been using Squarespace from the beginning, like a lot of these creators, a lot of these photographers and videographers and stuff, Squarespace is a little expensive for me, but man, it's easy to use. I don't know. Maybe it's something I need to think about. Couldn't be easier. I know. You know what? I'm going to revisit Squarespace. What is the what is it? What is the name? I went through this before, and somebody just popped it on there, and they're like, "Oh, what is the name of the sites everybody uses?" WordPress. Thank you, Mike. Jeez. Mike Rook is here. Yes, WordPress. I have a brand new WordPress sitting there just waiting for me to decorate it. So, I don't know. I might buy a template, or I might just go with Squarespace. Shopify isn't bad. Yeah. I had website development as part of my career. I coded in HTML4. Well, I didn't. I had YouTube to tell me how to do things. Guys, we're almost an hour and a half in, and I'm going to have to let you go. I don't like this time of the day, but we got to get a few things done this lovely Sunday. I remember when HTML was the only way. I used to use Homepage by Apple. What was that? I used an Adobe software. InDesign? Was it InDesign? Or the one that you build websites with? I don't remember what it was. Pac-Man, the game full of stress. I liked Flipper, Billboard, and Football with the handheld cranks. You know what, Jim? I liked Frogger. That was my favorite. That and Joust, where you would fly and you got to land on top of the other flying horse. They're almost gone. The little ghosts are fading away. The kids these days show sketches of the site and ask AI to code the whole lot. You know, it's not a bad idea. Thank you, Katie. I'll see you later. Abel is here. What? See you. Yes, have a great evening. Thanks, Mike, for a great stream. Thank you, Jeffrey. Just set up a MySpace page. I had one, MySpace, and it was MySpace. Happy cinematography, everyone. Thank you, Mike and Barry and Radios and Jeffries and, gosh, everybody. Cecil and Miss Manny. I didn't see Manny. Abel. Guys, hit the like button on the way out if you don't mind. I would appreciate it. It's cool. It'd mean a lot to me. I like the fact that the only reason that Chuck E. Cheese exists is because Atari wanted to make money, people playing their arcades and not so. Yeah. Gordon Webster's here. Used front page for a time. I remember front page. Hey, Lyle, thanks for being here, bud. The geosites are back. The Gen Zs are again. Are they making them again? Those were awesome. See you in a week or skipping one? No, I shouldn't be skipping one. We'll be doing a little family vacay getaway, but it's actually during the week this time. But I don't anticipate skipping next Sunday. And if something happens, I'll post a notice. But as of right now, I'll see everybody next Sunday. So thank you all for being here. I really appreciate it. It means the world to me. Obviously couldn't do them without you. Blinky and Pinky and all of them are almost gone. See them? See how they disappear? Mike, I'll be getting with you soon. Matthew, thank you for being here, buddy. Cecil, Jim Cahill, Sunday. Jim, you missed a good members-only live stream last Thursday. Man, it was fun. Won't be a TV. Yes. Well, you will be here next Sunday, Jeffrey. Thank you, Fritz. I'll see you, buddy. All right, I'll see everybody next Sunday. Angus, thank you again for sending those cameras. I appreciate it. Yes, I'll be hitting you up, Mike. Oh, that's okay. Rewatch it. Forwarding you some money for your mailing film. Yeah, whenever, Jeffrey. Matthew, whenever, buddy. Members only, $35 for life. Processing, scanning, uploading, and return shipping of any of your movie films. But remember, if it's like new stock, it's you want to get it professionally done, because I don't do that. I specialize in the old stuff. So if you're testing cameras or old film or something, yes. All right, guys. Love you guys like family. I'll see everybody next Sunday.